record. That was a great share. So, anybody have anything to add to that? Like wins, learns, lessons, things around the holidays, aha moments. Like I'd love to hear.
I'll share.
All right.
You you were on Instagram Thanksgiving morning with you had your breakfast and then you had your lunch later and I was like, I should be eating while I'm cooking. So I did. I just made up my meals,
Mhm.
that had already been prepped and I ate my breakfast and then I did my lunch. So by the time we had dinner at 3 o'clock, I didn't care. So I was like, I made extra roasted vegetables so that I didn't want the casseroles and all that other crazy stuff. And my brother-in-law laughed at me. He's like, who makes roast? Like, I was like, those are for me. You can have some if you want. But literally by the time we had dinner, I was still so satisfied from my regular meals that I had no desire to put a ton of stuff on my plate. So I stuck with the turkey and the vegetables and the fresh sweet potato type stuff. So I basically ate my regular meal
Yeah.
for dinner.
Yeah, it's wild,
So
isn't it? And that's like, a lot of what we were talking about. You just like you implemented what we talk about, and that is like so true, guys. And that's like we have this mindset of for years. Well, we're just going to save our calories for that holiday dinner, right? And then your eyeballs are bigger than your belly and you eat a lot. And the average person eats like close to 3,000, 4,000 calories just in Thanksgiving dinner, but it's because we wait. So, absolutely. And there was a few of you guys, I think, that were cooking and you were asking me questions about that. And I was like, listen, just eat the entire time you're cooking, and that was my point, Kim. So I'm glad you shared. Then you're not hungry when you get
yeah.
to your meal. Like you just keep eating your food,
Mhm.
and by the time you get to your meal and you replace it, you're good. So well done. I love that. It's fun to learn these little things. Like, ooh, okay. And I bet you still enjoyed time with your family.
Oh, of
And
course.
yeah, yeah, it really didn't change anything.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. It's the little things that we think of in our head, and then we're like, oh, that was still a good time, because to be honest with you, it's about spending time with family. And I didn't eat the sweet potatoes on my story, by the way. She had to make me the sweet potatoes without the tons of sugar and pecans and that's like she was cooking just so because you brought that up. She was cooking in the kitchen, and I'm looking at that, and I'm like, who's eating that? And she was like, you have to have a taste. She gave me a taste of it. It was brown sugar. I think there was flour in there and pecans. She said, just have a taste. She stuck that into my mouth. I said, I'm going to go into anaphylactic shock right now
Mhm.
from the taste. I was like, literally, I was like, oh my God. I was like, oh, that was horrible. It was like my eyes started watering. That's how long it's been since I've had like pure sugar. I was like, oh, that's awful. Anyway.
Well,
Uh,
that was it for me. The hardest part is my kids are now drinking age. So they were making all the fancy cocktails with pistachio and Baileys. And that was the hard part, was not being able to participate in that. And they're like, just take a taste. I'm like, no, because if I take one taste, then it'll be two and three and four. And so it was just, that was probably the hardest part for me, was not doing that. So
yeah.
I just kept myself occupied in the kitchen while they were playing around. But even when we got to dessert, I didn't care. Like I didn't have any desire for dessert, but it was you know, espresso martinis, pistachio martinis. They were making everything. So it was a little bit crazy.
Well, good for you. I love that experience. Anybody else want to share?
I was
Tina.
pretty much like him. I was kind of munching my food as I was cooking for everybody. So by the time I had dinner, I was um, I just had very small portions, and I was just, I was just like Kim. I wasn't really all that hungry by the time we all sat down at the table and ate. So I was able to, I let myself have a small piece of pie, and then I was done.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I'm good. Because I had my meals all day long,
Yeah.
and by the time I came to dinner, I was like, all right, well, I'm having a little bit of this and this, and I logged everything in, and I only went like 80 calories over my meal plan because of Thanksgiving. But um yeah, I wasn't overly stuffed and wanted to take a nap right afterwards, like I'd have every other year. And I'm down 2 pounds this last week. And I was like, how did that happen? I was like, I'm actually
Consistency.
down 2 pounds.
Consistency. But again, you guys are just sharing things and like really hear what you're talking about. If you guys are some of you are new on this call and listening, like it's the consistency. Like it's not about what you do one time or two times, it's what you do over the course of a time. And that's like, when, so it's not like one thing isn't going to throw you over the edge one day, one holiday, one meal. But it's what you're consistently doing. And by consistently eating all of your meals all day long, number one, you don't want to binge. You are satisfied and full, as you
Hmm.
guys talked about. And two, like it's that consistency. You're continuing to keep your metabolism running, you're happy, your body's satisfied. And to be honest with you, like that mentality that comes with like the holidays and saving your calories, it falls into that diet mentality. Binge and eat, like eat and binge, or
Hmm.
starve and binge is what I meant to say. So that's really what you're kind of putting the stop on. And what I love is all of you guys are sharing, like, I really didn't miss out on anything. And I think that's a big thing too, is realizing like, there's more to these events and holidays. And this is going to be applicable through the next few months with holidays. But even some of the women that you have gone on vacation, like Sandy's been on vacation, she went to Italy. Like these are things that she implemented even when she was on vacation and enjoyed herself, maintained her weight. This is that lifestyle. And, some of you are in the thick of it where you're really focusing hard on being very, very consistent with macros because, like Tina, you have big goals. So we're really putting the pedal to the metal. But as you get closer to your goals and we work into this 90-10, that's that lifestyle where 90% of the time, guys, you are just eating to fuel your body. It's not boring, it's just what you're doing. And then that 10%, when you go outside the lines, it's really not that tough. Like you're still enjoying life. It's just a different way of enjoying life than you're used to. Where we used to rely on food as emotional support, we start to look at other things. Make sense? This is not like,
So my experience this year was a little different. I went in really good. I went through the
mm,
lunch, I went through everything. And then when I planned supper, it kind of blew up and nobody had supper and everybody pulled out the desserts. And then I was like, okay, so a little nibble here. I was trying to get something together. And I learned a lesson I didn't follow. I was eating and I wasn't recording and I was kind of taking a little nibble here, nibble there. And then at the end of the day, my stomach hurt. And I was like, what the hell? And I was like, yeah, I don't think I like it. So I learned the opposite lesson. I didn't follow my plan. I followed it up until pretty much supper, and then it just went out the window. But then I also learned a good lesson too of all this stuff that I thought I really wanted when I ate it. I didn't feel good. It
mm,
wasn't right away. And this holiday was a weird one. I think I had some people here, but it wasn't I have to. Jules and I had a check in yesterday. I got to dig deeper. It was a different feeling. I wasn't in my own space. I think I had a hard time with this one, but
mm.
yeah. So I learned a different lesson. I did emotionally eat. I didn't prepare myself. I didn't have the backups in case this, in case that. I kind of went. I'm going to fly by the seat of my pants, and I learned a valuable lesson that way too. So.
But you know what? What I love about it, Sandy, is you're humble enough to bring it up here. You talked about it in your check-in, and the awareness, like I said in your check-in, was huge. You were very aware. So guys, like lean into that. Sandy's been, with me for I don't know, 6 months, right? And she's done very, very well. And she's got some amazing habits, and she's the macro monster. Like I give her macros, and then she's got meal guides to follow, but she's really leaned in and learned, and she just enjoys it. Like she knows how to play with her macros and make things. You see her posting and eat to slay all the time, but the awareness is something that hear what she said. That's a win too. The fact that she was like, oh, okay. And that's a huge thing when you are consistently developing your habits and that 2.0 version of yourself, you start to recognize quicker and faster the 1.0 version. And that is a big win too. And that's what I said to her. You were fast to identify it, where before it could have been, well, that I effed up and I'll start again Monday. And then Monday becomes next week and then next year and I'll start over. But no, she caught it almost immediately, that's another thing too, because the 2.0 version of herself is extremely aware. I think I talked about this with a little bit on some of your check-ins, and Coach Jen has brought this up before. This is something that I had taught with her. Like, it's having these board meetings. You've got the little, like I call it, you can call it your ego, you can call it your inner child, whatever it is, the little devil on your shoulder that's like, no, this is what we do, this is what we do. And then you're over here, I call it my little fairy witch girl that's like wants to do all the good. What the hell? Why the hell would you want to do? And like, legit, you have to have these conversations and dig deeper with why that little voice, why that inner, whatever you want to call it, your ego, your inner child, is like throwing that little temper tantrum and saying, no, 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 this is why we do it. Well, why do we do it that way? Well, because we've always done it that way, and it's like having that board meeting. I have board meetings with myself all the time. That's what I call them. So that way nobody thinks I'm crazy and I'm talking to myself. They're board meetings that I have in my head. So you can have them. I do it all the time. I legit go back and forth. Like, there's two people in the room. So, but listen, I solve a lot of shit. I'm having those board meetings, but I love that, Sandy. Thank you so much for sharing. And when you have those things, like, that's like what I talk about a lot in your check-ins, is then start asking questions. Like, that's something that I say is like, look at that thing and be like, what are the facts around it? Well, the facts are, and that's like, what are the facts? Sandy's kind of looking at what are those facts, and once she identifies them, how do I feel about them? And then really asking, well, why was this? Why did I do this? Asking that inner child, that ego, whatever it is you want to call it. We all have it. It's your subconscious mind. It's what tells you to do those things. It tries to drive the ship. And once you start asking these questions and legit writing them down, the answers just start to come and you have these aha moments. So it's just working through it too, like trying to figure it out. You guys got to remember, we have decades of shit in our heads of ways that we used to do things. It's not going to happen overnight to rewrite this stuff. It's just not. Good share, Sandy. Thank you. Who else had some great wins over the holidays? It doesn't even have to be a win. It could be a share, a learning, a lesson. Lisa, how did yours go? Do you need help? I gotcha. I mean, you just got here.
Yeah, it's my first one. I'm still in my reset. So it's, it was hard. I mean, I'm not going to lie and say it was easy, but just to be mindful of what you put in your mouth. I mean, I'm not going to say I didn't have Thanksgiving dinner. I did, but it was smaller amounts. And because I ate all day on everything, breakfast, lunch, my snacks, it was easier to eat that night, and not just put tons of food on my plate.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it did make it easier to follow the plan up until that meal.
Yeah.
So, and just pay attention to what I put on my plate. I didn't put everything. It's just the things I really, really wanted and what I enjoyed. So.
And listen, guys, I think we all need to give her this was her reset week. I mean, hello.
Yeah, I'm still.
It's like
this
week
is my
one.
second
Like,
week.
I mean,
Yeah, yeah, it was week one. So I mean, it's like, and like I told Jules, I've never eaten so much food in my life. So I was not hungry. I had the food because I enjoyed it, and so I let myself enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
but I didn't go overboard and eat tons. So, I didn't feel bad. I wasn't stuffed. I just enjoyed it. And so,
That's exactly where we want to be. And like, that's awareness. And I would actually say that's probably an advantage you had being in the reset now that I think about it, because everybody here was full during the reset too. That's probably worked to your advantage.
it did.
Yeah, it probably did work to your advantage a little bit. But again, guys, like it's that awareness around it and starting to realize that again, like, hmm, having food that I truly enjoy and not just eating because it's there or because somebody's saying like, listen, you should have this, and allowing yourself, not restricting, to have the things, because this is like legit, like the new things that you're learning. So thanks for the share, Lisa. I love it. Um, let's see. Who else is here that wants to share? Brittany, are you able to come off your camera? How'd your Thanksgiving go? I don't even know. This I can see if she's able to. Tracy, oh, here comes Michelle. I want to hear from her. Um, Lori, Brittany, Tracy, are either any of you able to come off
Yeah,
of your camera? Okay, there you
yeah,
are.
I'm here.
Let's hear from you, Tracy.
Absolutely.
You actually had a really great check-in too. I
I
remember
did.
you
Yeah.
had some really good like, yeah, share, please.
Yeah. So I know for Thanksgiving this year, and my dad passed away last year. So, it's the first Thanksgiving without him. But my family's always been about, food. My mom's like, eat, 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 eat. And, she's been with me along this journey. And, she's not like forcing me, like, oh, no, you got to eat, eat more, eat more. So, she was really supportive, and just, didn't push, that, have more turkey, have more stuffing, have more cranberry relish. She's like, if you've had enough, I'm okay with that. We'll have leftovers. So I love that. And, I made sure that I ate, my breakfast, my snacks, my lunch throughout the day. I got all my steps in before I went, over to my parents' house. So it was a really good Thanksgiving. So, and I love that, I think bringing family into your journey, I think is so important, and they understand, what you're going through and the expectations, and, how, and like I said, just how to be supportive. So, yeah. And I lost almost 2 pounds last week. So, yay.
Yay, I know that was huge. She actually hit a very big milestone
I
for, yeah,
did.
yeah, she did. She hit a huge milestone in her journey too. So high five, lots of love for that. I thought that was awesome.
Thank you.
So congratulations. And I love what you said too. You talked about, support, and that's so huge, guys, on this journey. There are going to be, and this is like in life and in general, but it is really about your like being supported. And not everybody is going to be supportive on this journey. Like, if a lot of you guys are new, there are sometimes relationships, things, places, people that you might wind up letting go of, just because there's not the support that you need there. It's and owning the fact that it's not your fault. A lot of times what I like to say is, when we have the naysayers in our group, and everybody's like, I don't like to talk about this, but we'll have the people in our tribe, in our surroundings, that were like, yeah, you're just not on board with me on this, that want to, like, well, oh, just have another bite, just do it anyway. And really taking a look at your circle, because it's super important to have a supportive circle, and some people just need to be let go of. It doesn't mean, remember, some people are in our lives for reasons, some people for seasons, right? And looking at that a little bit closer, and keeping the people close to you that are supportive. I have people in my life that I've let go of, that just were very big naysayers, couldn't understand why I was doing it. And I've also had people in my life that don't really understand or get what I do, but they support it. big difference. So there's a difference between, is that aligned with where you're going, Jules? Even though they might not understand why I go to the gym so much or why I competed. It happened a lot when I was competing. They would still be very supportive of my decisions, even though they might have thought I was a little cuckoo. But they would be the first ones to say, I, you're tired. You don't want to get up and go to get your ass over there. Go do the thing. They supported me. They may not have understood it, but they supported that. And there's a big difference between that than the people that aren't supportive. And a lot of times the people that aren't supportive, if you step back and look at it, it's 90% of the time because you're holding up a mirror and they have to look at it. You're doing something that they want with every part of their fiber. They respect you. They look at you. They're like, how the hell is she able to, let's just use this holiday as an example, show up, put a few things on her plate and be completely satisfied and say, nah, I don't really, I'm good, thanks. When that control isn't there for them. So what's the easiest thing to do? Lash out. To pull you into their circle. I did a reel once. I gotta repost it. It was a really good one. And it was actually a real life situation. It's a reel where I did a skit between me and myself, but I pretended to be two different people. And I'm talking about, I'm drinking a glass of wine. It's my girlfriend drinking a glass of wine. And she says, here, have a drink. And I said, no, I'm drinking my water. And in the skit, I say, no, thanks, I'm good. And she's like, just have a glass. No, I don't, I'm good. Thank you very much. Oh, for God's sakes, have a glass of wine, Little Miss Fitness. You're always, this is the legit skit that I do. And I'm like, no, I'm fine. I don't want one. And she ends up saying to me, well, I don't understand. I just want you to do what I'm doing so I feel better about it. I gotta, somebody remind me to post that damn skit. I gotta go look for it. I haven't posted that one in a while. It's a good one. But it is like, that's the reality. And that was actually a skit I did from a real life situation I had. Like, have the thing, have the thing. I don't want it. And the reality is I just want you to come over here and sit by me so I feel better about what I'm not doing that I really want to do. I see, Chris, you're nodding your head. I know you have a few friends like that, right? Yeah, you do, right? Come sit next to me because it's going to make me feel better if you do that thing that I'm doing. And just taking the power of saying no. So I love that. Good things. Christina, do you want to add to that? How was your holiday, by the way? You were off in another island or something.
Well, I was away, but then I came back and my holiday was really nice. I cooked. And
Hmm.
so I put the veggie platter out in the beginning. I put the fruit for dessert. I skipped all the desserts. Like I said no to all the desserts. Proud of myself. And yeah, I like everybody else, I stuck to my meal plan for the day. I was bad about tracking, I will admit that. But because I think I know,
Mm.
you
Yeah.
know, I mean, but this week I'm ready for this week. I'm back on board. But yeah, I didn't feel like I was missing out at all. And I celebrated my sister's birthday that week. I celebrated my son's birthday that week, and then Thanksgiving on top of it, and had company from out of town. So it was challenging, but I think because I was prepared,
Mm.
like I hit the ground running when I came back from my vacation, and I had a good week. And it can be super challenging when people are, yeah, come sit with me. I definitely struggle with that. And it's taken a lot of time to
Mhm.
really be able to feel, I don't know, strong enough, or I don't know how to even express it, but to just stay focused and let myself be the priority, because
Mhm.
it's easy to get distracted by other people,
Mhm.
especially when you're with other people a lot. So, yeah,
Yeah.
I think yeah, you just need to stay true to yourself and remember your goals and why you're here, and how much better you feel when you do stay true to yourself.
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
you're the priority, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, you just have to learn to be really okay with the word no. And, I
Mm-hmm.
talk about sometimes you have to let people go, but, and if you're in a situation where that person's close to you and it's not an ability to really let it go, then it's about like almost putting, like being okay with that word no. It's no, and you drop it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and it's just chatter that you hear after that. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's just like Charlie Brown noise.
Right.
And there's been points and times where I've had to say to people, what did you not understand about no?
Right. And making the
I'm like,
time for yourself to do, like to
yeah.
go to the gym on Wednesday before Thanksgiving. I was like, I need this time for me. And I did upset a couple of people, but it's not all day. I'm like, just give me my like hour and a half to be able to go to the gym, do what I need to do, and come back, and then I'll have time for you. But you need to respect and understand that because I'm on this journey for me,
Yeah.
and
That's
uh,
a very good point. And something to sometimes to do when that type of thing happens, like what I've spun in my mind sometimes is you may not be as sharp as I am with the tongue, but sometimes I will be like, you don't see me judging and think about this, like you're being judged because you want to go take care of yourself. Well, I'm not judging you for eating half a pie or
right?
you know what I mean? Like, and I'm being sarcastic, but right, I'm not passing judgment, and I'm like legit, like in my head, sometimes I'll play that story, and I'll be a little nicer. Sometimes I'm not nice about it, but I'm like, well, that's the reality. So, like in your case, like you have to think like, well, I'm going to the gym. This is what I want to do for myself.
Mm-hmm.
I'm whatever it is you want to do, that's cool. You're doing it, and I'm not upset about it. I'm letting
Mm-hmm.
you do your thing. So, like, a lot of times it's just reframing that. But we as females take so much on in our lives. Like,
Mm-hmm.
we are the protectors, we are the fixers, we are all of these people. And so when we upset or the apple cart, we like, so it is legit. I feel what you're feeling. It's hard to make those decisions and stand on your 2 feet, but like really getting good at the word no.
Mm-hmm.
Walking, really no. And then just shutting down, like you said, and
Mm-hmm.
going about your thing and being okay with whatever chatter happens over here. Because it's
Right.
going to happen. But also, too, like, you and I have had this conversation before in some of your check ins and our calls. It's also, too, understanding that mirror aspect. That person's
Right.
look, you're mirroring something to that person. Like, legit, whoever said that to you is more like, I wish in their mind, they're probably thinking, why can't I go to the gym?
Mm-hmm.
I
And I
should
invite
have,
too. My
yeah.
gym membership allows me to bring people. So
Come
I
on.
I, I have I have one sister. I've
Yeah.
invited her to the gym like 4 times in a row. She kept saying no, no, no. Finally, the fifth time she came, but now the sixth time she didn't. But hey, that's on her.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know.
And that's totally fine. Yeah. I'm not
Hmm.
passing judgment on you. Please don't pass it on me. Thank you very much.
Right.
So I
Just
love
give me the
that. This was
space.
a great share. And like that's the reality of it, guys. Like that's and just always remembering like a lot when that happens, you are generally a mirror to that person at that point in time in their life, and they don't want to look at it. So it's easier to go, you're
Hmm.
ridiculous. Yeah. So I love that share. Anybody else have anything they want to add? Michelle, how was your holiday? Michelle Tag. I don't know if she can come off of her camera. She might be busy. I'm looking in the chat. Anybody else? Barb, how was yours? I see you walking. I think, well, you shared with me. You had a pretty good one.
I did. It was good. I baked and the 4-bite rule was implemented. Um, so it was good. Um, I gave my brother, some pumpkin spice latte in baggies. I even made them a pumpkin spice latte coffee.
I love
And
that.
yeah, because one's in their 60, my brother's in his 63, and my brother-in-law's like in his upper 50s, and they're all wanting to get muscle. And I'm like, well, what are y'all doing? You working out? What are you doing? No, no. And I'm like, okay, you're going to have to, so then I gave them a bunch of protein. So that's what they went home with.
I love that. And I like that too. Like that's a really good thing too, is sharing sometimes some of your ideas with people. Like that's like a great thing to do. Like, well, pumpkin latte. Hey, did you ever think about making your coffee like that? Or making treats that are a little bit healthier. I used to be sneaky that way with the holidays too. I would do that sometimes and my family would be like, "Oh, that's really good." And after they get done eating it, I'd be like, "Well, that had like half the sugar in it, no fat." And my mom or my brother would look at me and be like, "What?" And I was like, "Yeah, I would just make healthier versions." And I would not tell anybody till they ate it all and told me how great it was. And I was like, "Well, you must know." And starting to teach people different things. But yeah, sharing things like, how to make their lattes, pumpkin. Speaking of that, guys, I actually brought these things for you. I had these sitting in my if you guys, first of all, you can make hot chocolate with the new well, you can make it with any chocolate first for them, but the new peppermint mochas that coming out, the collagen or even the actual protein powder makes phenomenal hot chocolate. But like at night, if you are in a cold place and you want a little something something at night, these, so they're a little pricey, but LTM is you put it in your water, it's electrolyte. So they make chocolate ones too. And this chocolate salt, it's nothing. It has sodium in it, potassium and magnesium, but it's just like, you flavor your water, except this is chocolate salt. So it makes hot chocolate when you heat it up. I'll have this at night. It's actually quite good.
They make a chocolate mint one too.
Yeah, they do. I have the chocolate mint one
It's so
here, and then
good.
they have. I like the chocolate salt. I haven't tried the chocolate mint. I do have it here. I
It's
can try
good.
it.
Put it
Is
in
it
coffee. If you put,
LMNT?
Yeah,
yeah,
it's electrolytes. So
Yeah.
they technically make electrolytes for
LMNT.
water. So I use it in the summertime for water, but they have these versions of them for with like the chocolate versions for like in the wintertime. Like I don't actually put these in my water and drink them in the summer, but I drink them now. Um, like, and I'll make hot chocolate out of it if I want something at night. Like I just want a little something something, and I don't have any like I've eaten all my macros for the day, and I don't need protein or anything. I'll have one of these.
They have
I
so
don't.
many flavors. Element is probably the best one out there.
Yeah, they're very pricey. And
Target has them
yeah.
always on sale.
Oh, always on sale.
Yeah.
I've never seen the chocolate version at Target, but I do see, I like the watermelon. I'll put that one in my water a
Hmm.
lot. But yeah, so, and actually I had this out because I'll put this in my coffee sometimes in the morning too. So I don't put the full one in my coffee, but I'll put a little in my coffee. And this is the one that I actually put in my coffee, the chocolate chai. So FYI, guys. And it's really nothing. It'll give you a little something, something at the end of the day. I don't know why I brought that up, but like those.
I wanted to go back to Thanksgiving. After hearing all of you guys, I think one of the changes I'll make for Christmas is make a dessert and an app. I had delegated because I was hosting. So I had other people bring desserts, other people bring appetizers, other people, and I did the main course.
Mhm.
And from hearing all of this, I think that's one of the strategies I'll change is I'll make an app, a main course, a dessert, and that way there I have because I found a mean pumpkin muffin thing, so I could have had that instead of my friend's pumpkin bread, which I know was full of everything. But I wanted that pumpkin, and I should have made muffins, my muffins, and then I could have had my muffins and not felt guilty. So thanks, guys. The sharing was great because now I have a strategy for the next holiday.
Yeah. And I'm just going to reframe, not feel guilty, not feel better because you had a bellyache. So, like, there shouldn't be guilt around eating the bread because if you really wanted the bread, have a few bites of it. But, like, I'm just going to reframe what you said, like, have your own food so you feel better.
Yeah, I
You
wanted
know?
dessert.
Yeah.
And the only dessert that was there was what was brought. I should have planned better and had my own dessert. So then I could have had it and felt good
Yeah.
so yeah. Thanks,
Yeah.
guys.
See, we all learn here. I love it. I love it, guys. And it really is about, like, again, there is no restriction. If you want the thing, you should have it. Practice, like, Barb said, the 4 bite rule. Usually, like, after 4 bites. And I was gonna say that with even alcohol, Kim, but I also understand where you're at with in your journey, and you're probably not to the place, and in the awareness that you had to go, yeah, no, I'm gonna say no to this because right now I don't have this, the willpower or whatever it might be, that you were aware to know that if you said yes, because you even said it yourself, you're like, I was going to go down that slope, but I wasn't going to stop. But, dessert or cocktails, like, it's always about looking at them and being like, okay, well, I really want this because it only comes around once a year, and just having a few bites of it if that's what you really want, like a lot of you guys talked about. But then also, if you don't want it, or like Sandy found out, like, well, that didn't feel too good. I mean, how many of you guys had mac and cheese and then had a bellyache after it? Like, yeah, exactly. It, exactly. Yeah, Sandy's like, I had this much, like, you learn these things and you're like, yeah, no, I'm not gonna do that again. Kind
One
of
bite was
thing.
enough.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, I just don't want to feel like that again. So it's the awareness around it. So I love all these shares and wins, and I think this is really good. Does anybody else have anything they want to add to this call? Because you're going to see me all again tomorrow. So, that being said, guys, I just really wanted you to take the opportunity to share your wins on this call. I didn't have a super agenda to it. Usually we set goals, but come Wednesday, so tomorrow we're going to take over Coach Jen's call, and everybody from the whole community is going to be there, not just you guys, but we're going to, for those of you that have done this with me before, you kind of know how we run it. And then those of you that are new to it, I kind of do this in a 3-part series. So you definitely want to be on all the calls. But tomorrow we're really going to take a look at, like, the things that you've accomplished in 2025, like the goals that you've hit, where you are, and then really looking at where you want to be in 2026. And we're going to talk a lot about, like, stretch goals and how to put things out there that might feel a little bit uncomfortable. So really what we're going to be doing is I'm going to be kind of helping and coaching and guiding you on how to create those monumental goals. I like to call them, instead of stretch goals, like, they're really like your impossible goals, like looking at things that feel really impossible. And because, to be honest with you, the sky's the limit. The sky is the limit. Like, I was doing a check-in with somebody this week. I can't remember what it was. And they were like, well, something about, like, I don't know what's possible. And I was like, anything is possible. Anything is possible. Like, you can do whatever the hell you want. So really working on creating what those goals are. And we're not just going to look at fitness. We're going to look at, like, all aspects of your life. So that's going to be the first part of it. So we're going to dive deep into that. Then I'm going to work with you on the second part of it. We'll work on, like, how do we look at these and create them into bite-sized pieces so they become more achievable. And then the last thing we'll do is we'll put together a vision board, which is really fun. And that's like the big one at the end. And we actually will build the vision board together. Like, we'll go into breakout rooms. We'll have all the parts and pieces. We'll, like, depending on how many of you guys are on the call, we actually will break out on the Zoom call, build it together, have conversations. It's really fun if you've done it with us before. And then we come back and we share. So I look forward to doing it. It's like my favorite part of the year. I love doing this, and I do it right along with you. So I hope to see you guys all on the call. It will be, I think it's 5 p.m. Eastern, Pacific Standard Time, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm staying up past my bedtime for y'all, so you better be there. Coach Jules is staying up past your bedtime. So I look forward to seeing you guys all there. I think I updated the post with all the links as well, so you guys can join. So if you don't have anything else, it was great chatting with you guys. I am proud of you all. I think you all had a great week, had lots of learns, and I'm excited to see you guys all tomorrow night. Bye. And this call.